Hello all, this is Dr. Dheeraj Masapu. I'm a senior consultant in the field of neuroanesthesia. So if you're interested to do neuroanesthesia or if you're already doing neuroanesthesia, then you must watch this video because I'm going to tell you what happens to this field in coming 5 to 10 years. Because see, now you're just taking neuroanesthesia because you have some passion towards that and interest towards it. But what is happening actually, the salaries and the number of jobs that you're getting, everything depends upon the demand supply tension. Okay, so if the demand supply mismatch is happening, then the people who are actually studying might not get jobs also. That kind of a possibility is there. So I'm going to show you the statistics of what is going to happen in future in the coming 5 to 10 years. And is it going to get saturated, or is it going to be undersaturated, or what is actually going to happen? I'll try to prove with the numbers. Okay, so first let us first discuss about the number of surgeons in India. So number of surgeons in India are nearly 1 lakh people, because it ranges. Actually, nobody has the exact number. So exact based on the number of people registered in the societies, I got the number as near to 1 lakh. So why I'm talking about surgeons, I'll tell you. So and number of anesthesiologists in India are around 30 to 40,000 who are registered in the ISA society. Apart from that, there are some people who don't register in the society and still be practicing. Let us not count them. So maybe 30 to 40,000 of people are there for 1 lakh surgeons. The ratio is 1:3. That means that 3 surgeons have 1 anesthetist in India. So the reason maybe not every surgeon is operating daily, or maybe 1 anesthetist is managing 3 surgeons. And this is the culture in India, and the ratio may be 1:1 in USA, UK, and New Zealand and other countries. But in India, this is our system. So we are not going to discuss about why the system has come and all that. We'll go into neuroanesthesia now. So understand that Indian system is that maybe 1:3 is the ratio. That is how we are used to, and the system is used to. So now let us go into the neuroanesthesia part. Okay, in neuroanesthesia, what happens is same thing. We'll take neurosurgeons here instead of general surgeons. So neurosurgeons who are registered in the neurosurgical societies are around 4,000 people. So India has 4,000 neurosurgeons. And total number of neuroanesthesiologists, if you take ISNAC as a body, and there are so many people who are not registered with ISNAC also, so the total number might come to roughly around 1,000 people. So the 1,000 neuroanesthesiologists are serving 4,000 neurosurgeons. So around 1:4 is the ratio. So, and then the reason might be the reason why only 1,000 is there, we don't know. And what is happening here is 50% of the neurosurgeons are actually not opting for neuroanesthesiologists. Okay, so maybe 2,000 people are only actually working with these 1,000 neuroanesthesiologists. The reason might be due to lack of availability or lack of knowledge for the neurosurgeon about what we actually do, or no enough case load for the neurosurgeon to justify having a neuroanesthesiologist with him. You should have complex cases, right? And you should have good number of patients with you. Only then you can hire a neuroanesthesiologist. You can't hire a neuroanesthesiologist when you're doing only 1 case in a day, or maybe 1 case in 2-3 days. So 50% of the neurosurgeons don't operate with, maybe are not operating with neuroanesthesiologists, and only 2,000 people, that is 50% of the existing, are using neuroanesthesiologists to help them. So now the ratio is roughly like 1:2. That is the actual ratio of India, right? So as I told you, in the as a general surgeon, general anesthesiologist rule 1:3. So 1 anesthesiologist can actually cater to 2-3 surgeons. In that model, so these 1,000 neuroanesthesiologists are able to actually cater to these 2,000 neurosurgeons, and it's balanced now. Okay, so when it is balanced now, do we need more people is the question I will answer. Okay, let us go into supply part. The supply part I would like to tell you now. So total number of DM seats in India are 24, and total number of DRNB seats in neuroanesthesia are 10. And ISNAC is a society which produces around ranges actually between 5 to 10. Even I have an ISNAC fellowship under me. So around 8 people you can take roughly. So total 42 to 44 people will pass out every year. Supply is not too much. So 42 to 44 in a population of 1.3 to 1.4 billion is very, very, very negligible. So supply part, there is not an issue. So demand part is the issue. I'll tell you what is going to happen there. So let me show you what centers are actually producing these DMs. So the centers which are producing DMs, let me just go into DM and neuroanesthesia. Yeah. So total 24 seats. PGI Chandigarh is producing a good number of people, and GB Pant 2 seats, and Nimhan's seats are there. Sri Chitra, Jawaharlal, JNTU, Jitmar Pondicherry, and Mahatma Gandhi Medical College, Jaipur, CMC Vellore, AIIMS Rishikesh. So different hospitals are producing neuroanesthesia. And coming to DNB is there in 10 seats are there in Apollo Hyderabad, Artemis Gurgaon, Global Hospital in Chennai, Indraprastha Delhi, Institute of Neuroscience Calcutta, Kokilaben Hospital in Mumbai, Medanta Gurgaon, Hinduja, Mumbai, Paras Gurgaon. Lot of hospitals are there in Gurgaon, I think. And then Kashmir Institute also has 2 seats. So total, these are the hospitals. And then, and now I'll tell you what happens to this, demand supply tension in future. So what happens now is, now we are balanced. Now maybe these 1,000 neuroanesthetists are able to cater to these 2,000 neurosurgeons. So now the people are passing out. Over a period of time, what happens is, these other 2,000 neurosurgeons also will start requesting for neuroanesthesia backup in future. Okay, and the present 2,000 people also will build stronger teams, and more people will go into the existing team. We'll leave that part. So if, for example, the other 2,000 neurosurgeons also start requesting for neuroanesthetists, then another 1,000 neuroanesthetists would be required in the upcoming years. Okay, so what I did is 1,000 requirement in future, divide by the supply of 42 per year, which we are producing now in India, will be 23 years to meet the demand. So till 23 years, you're safe if the other 2,000 neurosurgeons are also starting to use neuroanesthesia backup. So for that, and one more good thing is, I didn't factor in the spine surgeons here, because spine surgeons also want neuroanesthetists, because a lot of spine surgeries are happening with neuromonitoring now, which neuroanesthetists understand better. So if you can master the neuromonitoring also, then another 500 to 600 spine surgeons are there in India. If they also request, then your field is not going to get saturated in the upcoming years, because the supply is very minimal, so you don't have to really worry about the saturation. But is it so simple, Dheeraj? If you ask me, no, it is not so simple. As I told, the number game which I showed is not so simple. You need to do something, which I'm going to tell now. This is the most important part of the video. Okay, you need to do something. You need to educate the neurosurgeons about what neuroanesthesia is. You have to pitch in properly. After finishing your DM and DRNB or something, when you're going to hospital, you have to pitch in properly, and you should tell what you are capable of doing. Okay, only then somebody will recruit you, right? So write down the points. You just exactly copy this part of the video, and then you rehearse it and tell the same thing in front of a surgeon or a management guy. And so what you need to tell them is, you have to tell them that I am experienced in giving anesthesia for neurosurgical cases. I have experience in dealing neurovascular cases like aneurysms and aneurysm clipping, and also endovascular procedures of coiling and embolization of AVMs. And I'm also experienced in doing awake craniotomies and tumors which are located in the motor and speech areas. And I'm also experienced in giving anesthesia for pediatric neurosurgery, mainly craniosynostosis or meningomyelocele or detethering of the cord. And I'm experienced in dealing difficult airway and cervical cases, and I'm experienced in protecting the brain. I understand cerebral perfusion. If ICP is high, I know how much CPP should be. How much mean arterial pressure should be to maintain the brain when you're operating. And I understand different positions, what you do in neurosurgery. So you have to tell all these things. Only then they will know. And still more I'm going to tell you. And I also understand the anesthesia in intraoperative MRI suite. And also in giving anesthesia in the MRI suite everybody can do, but intraop MRI suite is a different ball game. You need to have experience in that. I can manage traumatic brain injury. I understand TBI guidelines and understand ICP management and tire-based approach of traumatic brain injury. And I also understand the traumatic spine management. I understand what is Canadian C-spine rule and how to protect the C-spine. and also I understand stroke and golden period, how to actually maintain anesthesia during the thrombectomies, what are the blood pressure targets. I also understand the ICH management and blood pressure targets in ICU. Okay, and if the list goes on actually, so you need to actually, you please write down all these points and you talk like this when you go to management or a neurosurgeon. Only then they'll understand what you really do. Okay, I understand meningitis and CNS infections and what antibiotics to be used and how to actually differentiate bacterial and viral meningitis. I understand brain death, certification of brain death. I can be part of the brain death certification team in the hospital, and you can also tell I can understand EEG, transcranial Doppler, and which are very commonly done nowadays. I can understand basics of CT scan and MRI, and also I can understand rehabilitation to a bed. Okay, so these are the things I think you need to talk like this when you go for an interview. So when you have to actively approach a neurosurgeon and tell him that these are the things I do, and then you can convert the rest of the 2,000 people who are not actively taking neuroanesthesiologists, and then if they start taking, then you need another 23 years. Your specialty is safe. So this applies to every field. I'm telling you, cardiac anesthesia, transplant anesthesia, and all types of subspecialty anesthesias. You need to actually go and meet the person who's recruiting you and then explain them what you can do, and then all the people who previously didn't understand what you do will understand, will start hiring you. So as a field it will be safe for another 20-30 years. Okay, so that is a responsibility of all the people who are passing out. And even I try to educate many neurosurgeons whoever come to us for fellowships, or if I go to some talks, and ideally you need to go to neurosurgical conferences and give talks so that they get educated. And as seniors, this is for seniors, if you go to NSI and give talks in a superb way for all the neurosurgeons, then they will appoint your students, and it will, in this concept, for another 20 to 30 years the specialty will be safer. If you're not doing that, okay, and then what happens is we are already saturated now. If we don't recruit the dormant neurosurgeons, so we need to recruit them and then help the future of neuroanesthesia in the country. So this is how the demand supply tension will be maintained in the future. Okay, this video should be watched by every neuroanesthesia aspirant and a person who is fresh into neuroanesthesia, and also seniors who are in neuroanesthesia. And this is how you're going to change the course of neuroanesthesia in future. If you're not going to do this, then what happens is we are already saturated. Okay, we 1,000 can manage the present existing 2,000 neurosurgeons, and we will be safe. But the upcoming people will not find jobs in future. Okay, hope you understood what I'm telling. Thank you very much for following the video till now, and I will do similar videos on cardiac anesthesia and other areas also in future. Thank you.